In another example of how the same religious doctrine can have several different interpretations, we have a Muslim porn actress who believes that she is a Muslim, and she says she's a practicing Muslim. Her name is Nadiya Ali, and she is definitely a courageous woman. She is originally from Pakistan. However, she is banned in Pakistan and would not go back, and I wouldn't advise her to. And she's trying to change the perceptions of women within the Muslim religion by doing porn, okay? And she's very explicit about what she's trying to do. So here's what she has to say. They may look, oh, okay, so first let me give you one of the porns that she's been in. We're going to show you right, no we're not. The name of it is Women in the Middle East. That's the name of the porn, probably the tamest porn title that's ever existed.
But the porn itself is not tame.
No.
I saw a version of it that is not X-rated, and I mean, there's a lot of that. She's in a hijab.
She gets spanked with a switch.
It seemed like there was some choking.
Yeah, it's a rough porn.
It's rough, man, and to see, it was jarring to see a woman in a hijab having sex, and especially roughly. And I didn't know how to feel about that. I mean, I was very interested, and then all of a sudden I lost interest.
Does that joke ever get old for you?
No.
You love that joke.
Okay.
God. Okay.
No, but in all seriousness, it was like her husband being rough with her because she
took the keys to his car
and didn't listen to him.
Yeah.
And I felt conflicted, like, wait, don't do that. And then I was like, oh, maybe do that though. And so it's a trippy little porn.
Yeah. Can we talk about what the whole point is instead of talking about what you like and don't like in porn? You can save that for later. Okay. So again, the name of the porn is Women in the Middle East, and they have a description of it. And here's the description. They may look suppressed, but given an opportunity to express themselves freely, their wild, untamable, natural sexuality is released. This may just be what was in Bin Laden's porn collection. Experience it for yourself. Okay.
That again makes me feel conflicted. Like we were having fun until you brought Bin Laden into this thing. Jesus
that is a
Christ.
really bad marketing plan.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay, so now let's get into why she's doing this. I think she just likes to do porn, right? And that there's nothing wrong with that. If she's empowered and she feels like this is what she wants to do, cool. But she also wants to, I feel like she's trying to give the middle finger to fundamentalists that have told her to know her role, right? So for Ali, donning a hijab in porn is empowerment. Determined to break down the barriers of this age-old taboo, she doesn't think of her work as anti-hijab porn, but in a culture where it is conceivable for a cleric to ban women from touching bananas and cucumbers due to their phallic resemblance, she hopes to inspire change.
I think that was a Turkish mullah. He's like, you know, you have to be very careful. These cucumbers, they slip into places you wouldn't imagine. It's probably not a direct quote. But they were literally warning about bananas and cucumbers. I mean, they're mental.
Okay, so here's what Nadiya says. I've been told you're not a Muslim, you're a disgrace to Pakistan. Pakistan won't accept you. But I do come from a Middle Eastern background, and I am a Muslim, not the way my parents are, but by practice. My sister covers her head. She's modest, married, and has kids. My mom covers her head and prays 5 times a day. I pray 2 times a day, but I'm still a practicing Muslim. And then she says, growing up, I'd hear rumors like, that girl's a slut, don't let the scarf fool you. I kept those scenarios in mind. If a hijabi were to be horny and wanting to fuck, how would she fuck? I bring that to life on camera, and people get mad about it because they want to keep it modest.
Yeah, you know, all those women in hijab, they also have sex. Like, nobody ever talks about it because, you know, it's a topic that you don't even, like, you're so worried about their rights and you know, all the other things that are problematic about the hijab or the niqab or the burqa. And you don't think like, hey, at some point, a lot of them are married, obviously, they go home and then they get it on. And, you know, are they dirty? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Are they allowed to be into something? You know, I'm sure the husband's into something. Does he play it out with his wife? You know?
I don't care what your religion is, right? You could be the most, you know, fundamentalist, Muslim, Christian, whatever it is, and preach about how self-righteous and awesome you are. But the reality is we're all freaks. Like, we all love sex, okay? It's human nature. It feels good. It's nice, right? There's the intimate connectiveness of, you know, I don't even know if connectiveness is a word. I just made it up. But, like, there's something intimate about it when you're with the one you love, but there's also something raw and awesome and animalistic about it, you know, in a non-loving relationship as well. That's fine. Like, the judgment is what drives me crazy. And look, do I think that her doing porn is going to change the culture. Probably not. They've rejected her. They've banned her from Pakistan. But I like that she's speaking out against the culture. And she's like basically giving them a middle finger and telling them, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm human.
So I love what you're saying on both fronts, and I agree. One, I think she just feels empowered. She's in America. She can do whatever she wants. She wants to do this and does it. That's her main point, right? Mm. But secondly, I support her completely on having a different interpretation of your religion. People think, no, only one interpretation is allowed. Mm-hmm. No, that's like your opinion, man. For example, among Christians, there are the nuns who fight against the death penalty and make it their life's cause. And then there are a ton of evangelical Christians who think, yeah, kill them, death penalty is great. By the way, I'm pro-life. No, there's a wide variety of opinions in Christianity. I know that since this is not a Muslim country, it shocks some people that there's a wide variety of opinions on how you interpret Islam. Like the stereotype, the caricature here is, oh, they're all ISIS. They all want to cut people's heads off.
Yeah.
No, there's a ton of people who think, just like Christians, well, yeah, it literally says you should not sleep with a man, but in another part it says you should love people the same and treat people the same, so I'm going to interpret the nice part instead of the mean part, right? And in Islam, there's the being great to the poor and being equal and all that stuff, and I'm going to go for that interpretation instead of the ugly interpretation. Since it seems so foreign to us and so much of our image of Islam is rooted in news of Al-Qaeda and ISIS and the wars in the Middle East, people can't wrap their minds around that, yes, there are different interpretations. Now, we're atheists, so we don't agree with any of those interpretations, and we think it's kind of silly that it's hypocritical and that you could do either interpretation perfectly reasonably, but you can, and people do.
Yes.
So if for the people who don't agree with her, sad day that you don't agree with her that she's Muslim. As long as she thinks she's Muslim, she believes in God, she believes in reaching that God through Islam and praying however many times she wants, it doesn't make you less Muslim if you have sex. Otherwise, 1.6 billion people are ironically screwed.